idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me blow some smoke up your bottom.
Go for it. My ego's always ready to be
blown. Anytime I'm trying to write a new show or anytime I'm trying to access any type of creativity in my own imagination, you're the comedian that I keep listening to over and over and over again. There's something about your style that when I listen to it helps me relax and be funny. So I just want to say
wow.
that's...
Wow.
So... I think, yeah, so...
Well, I was just saying, I love this idea. This is your idea, yeah?
Yeah.
That you didn't know I was coming on.
No.
And I was just saying earlier, what I love is that you're doing this when you don't know what's going on, we don't know what we're going to say.
No.
And no one's tried that before. And I just love the ideas. And you're always pushing ideas. You were doing wholly improvised shows, weren't you?
Yeah, well, the thing I learned about the totally improvised shows was that they were a fantastic thing for me to do, but you couldn't really charge people money in to see them.
Right, yeah. Because I thought of going in that direction. Yeah. Because you can probably feel, if anyone's seen my stand, I mean, you've seen it, that I think mine's conversational. I know roughly where I'm going, but I come off on A roads and B roads and go, oh, what's down there? Oh, chickens. Do they really? If they, you know... And, but I've developed this new show, which I'm here to plug, in fact, which is on in November at the Olympia in 14, 15, 16. But I'll just get that plug out of the way. No, I'm just telling you, because I want Irish people to come. But yeah, so I started improvising and developing. You know, like you probably, as you're developing a new show, you go and say chickens or banjos or helicopters or whatever it is. Yeah. But I was doing it in French. I was going. I was, you know, a year ago, I was on stage in Paris. I went, you know, les poulets, qu'est-ce qui se passe? You know, si on a imaginé, and I was reaching for words, and some of the times the words weren't coming. Like you doing this, and you improvising your shows, you're...
I haven't said very much yet.
I know. But you're listening, you know. But that is a thing, because sometimes you get quiz show, sometimes you get chat show hosts, people with a show, and they will just be getting their stuff in.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they'll just be...
Have you noticed that things change for you creatively as you get older?
Well, I found... My friends were saying the fact that I'm doing a lot of this small rooms in France and Germany, Alles auf Deutsch, you know, real small rooms, that's keeping me grounded, like, you know, like I'm constantly starting. There's Spanish, that's the third one. Then I do Arabic, and I'm going to probably have to go, probably not in girl mode when I turn up in Cairo, probably just, but, you know, I'm going to have to work that out. But it just does keep you grounded, but the stuff I'm talking about, I worry slightly. The stuff I'm talking about is in a similar area. And you think, well, let's try and make this a different show. But I keep going back into religion. I go back into the history of everything, the universe. Yeah. Everything that interests me. I don't get disinterested with the things that were interesting me. So that worries me slightly. But apparently my people who advise me, people I talk to who I trust, they're saying, no, this is looking...
You're so relentlessly driven. Like, I've noticed that it's not laziness, but it's almost like you can become kinder towards yourself as you get older and say, oh, you know, maybe it's not the most important thing in the world to achieve X or achieve Y. You just seem like...
No, I'm relentless.
Yeah.
Because I did say to my dad and my stepmother at a certain point, I've worked out how... About 18, 19. I've worked out how life works. I got to get a cushy job, and then you just cruise on in, and then you die. And I just thought... I didn't mention the death bit, but... I've totally changed from that. I now think that real living is being almost... everything almost failing, everything just starting, everything just beginning. That's
relentless, though, isn't it? It's kind of like just...
It is a bit relentless. Well, certain things I had to do. I had to come out as transgender because I thought... I knew, you know, since I was 4, so I came out 34 years ago, in 1985. So that was a long time ago. But I had to do that and get relaxed about that, and then I had to do certain other things.
Can I from a heterosexual point of view.
Tell me about it. What is this thing?
I'm just into girls. What is transgender? Like, what is that?
No one knows.
No, I think I might be one of them as well.
No, that's a joke. Well, actually, it is true. I am.
And also,
I'm a wannabe lesbian.
Is it important to label it?
It is in a way. When I came out, right, I was TV. There was TV and TS. TV was transvestite, TS was transsexual. And I went around saying, I'm a TV, and people went, how many channels? And, I said, no. Yeah. So I thought, OK, I got a bit more used to being out and getting reactions, and I thought, I'll say I'm a transvestite. I'll reclaim this Latin word, you're just cross-dresser in Latin.
But back then as well, you were also at the crest of a huge popular movement behind you, like you were the rock and roll star of stand-up. So it was almost like what you were given cultural permission to make these declarations and a platform.
I feel I gave myself the permission to do it, and people do, and LGBT plus people do give themselves. You have to give yourself permission to do that. I feel there was a movement. A lot of stand-ups were coming through. I was just in there, but there wasn't a furrow. There wasn't a ploughed field or line of, oh, the transgender guy, bring him on, because they tend to say, oh, you were doing drag, this is kind of like pantomimes. And I mean, no, I'm just a guy, I'm a wannabe lesbian. I fancy women. I happen to have, I think I'm gender fluid. I have boy genetics, girl genetics. I believe in people. I believe in human beings. I think there's more goodwill in men and women than ill will. I hope that in the world. And I think you've got to be brave and curious and not fearful and suspicious. And that's the only way for humanity to go. We gradually learn to live together, work together in some shape or form. That's what we do. We gradually come together.
So, tell me about some of the ideas that you have now for Britain and your deep love of the country, even though you have a great connection to the north here.
Yeah, it's when I was 3, 4, 5, I sounded like this. I lived in County Down, Ashford, County Down, because we arrived there. My mum's from Kent and my dad's from East Sussex. So they arrived there. Dad's working at the BP refinery in Belfast. And we turned up, and we obviously sounded rather like this, or something. We were kind of not too popular.
You came from the Yemen, then, was it?
Yes, came from Yemen, because there was a war going on. So we thought we'd go to Northern Ireland, where it would be quieter. No, it was just Dad moving around with refineries. And we had no idea of, which foot, all this stuff. And so we're in Bangor, County Down, and it's a little bit... And gradually hanging out with the kids there, we started sounding like this, and I couldn't hear it. I would be quite happy if I sounded like this, and I had to go and refine that accent. We had a Ballyholme primary school, and apparently Mum was freaked out by the sound, a little bit freaked out there. Mother, can I have a glass of pop there? Please. It's time now for my pop. I would wake her up in the middle of the night. Can I have a milky coffee? Mother, would you be kind enough to get me a milky coffee, because there's monsters under the bed there. And so I had that, and it went away. It was just such a beautiful time for us. And we were playing with the kids. We didn't understand what was going on politically around the back, and we just had fun, and Mum was alive. She died about 6 months after we left, so I've locked that into my brain, and I always go
as a happy time.
Yeah, absolutely. The happiest time of our childhood, the happiest time. Just Mum, Dad. It was just fun, and we didn't understand other things. And when we left, Mum died, and everything changed. It just changed forever. But
you're able to look back on that time positively rather than...
Oh, yeah, absolutely positively.
Yeah.
Mum died when we were in Wales, so that was a slightly a curious time. So for Wales, I had more of a harder memories of Wales, but that wasn't the fault of the Welsh people.
Do you feel loved?
That's a very good question. I think, I feel the audiences... I started performing to try and get the love of the audience. I saw a show in January 1970, a play, and this kid was getting a lot of reaction. A kid called Peter Champion, and what a great name. And he was getting a lot of reaction from the audience. He was killing it. And out there, I just thought, I have to do this. And I think I swapped Mum's affection for the audience's affection. So I try and get the love of the audience. But it's not unconditional. It's conditional. Yeah. You have to do good. If I started knocking out the same old stuff, then I think it would all drivel away.
But answer the question.
Yes, but loved. But yeah, no, loved. Yeah, no, I feel so. Yeah, that within the family, the close family, people, you know, there's my mum and dad went last year, but I think we had love in our family. Me and my brother and my father were like a triple act. There's a strong bond there. Dad's gone now, so it's me and my brother. But if my ultimate thing is to try and make my brother laugh. If I can make my brother laugh in another language even, that is beautiful. So yeah, I hope. I can't tell. Again, I don't want to take it for granted in case I said, "You do love me." No, I've never. Bugger, you know. So I don't want to assume something, but I'm, you know, I don't know how it is for you or how it is for other people in life, but I'm trying to make this life well. One life, live it well. I'm trying to live this life well.
But you're full of remarkable warmth. You know, and positivity, and it's. I think that when people, there are things in the culture that are very heartwarming to experience, and you're one of them. You are someone who people have a lot of loving feelings towards. You know, well, and I think I wonder sometimes as part of that journey, accepting the love that we're given, as opposed to questioning if it's there or not, because it is there.
I don't question it. I do. I mean, I've split up with a few people in relationships, some women in my relationships, and I still get on with them all, I think, which is nice. Mm. You know, the connection that was there before this relationship got in the way, and it's often gets better after you break up because you don't have to spend 24 hours with each other, and that's typical for any relationship. And you know, 24 hours, you know, after many years. So. So yeah, I hope it's out there, and I don't expect it. And if it does go away, I've got to not be worried about that. I've just got to, as long as I don't suddenly veer off, you know, what I'm doing. I think what I'm doing, I'm very happy. I like me. This is an interesting thing. I think a lot of hatred comes from people who don't like themselves. And if they don't like themselves, they better go out and find some other people to put the hatred on so they could lower their status. So because that's what hatred is. Gossip is mild hatred. And if you gossip, as you see Steve, he fell over and he's dead now. Yes, and that's, sorry, that's a bit extreme. It's extreme gossip. But, you know, you've lowered...
That's information, that's not gossip.
But you've lowered his status into death, and so you feel a lot better. I'm not dead.
I feel more alive because Steve is dead.
Exactly. At least I'm not one of those dead people. and that's what gossip is, and hatred is a more vicious form of that. And you know, and so I wonder whether it comes from people not liking themselves. I wonder if all the Nazis didn't like themselves. Like, when it gets into a cult like the Nazis or something like that, then it gets confusing. But
tell me about friends.
My friends.
Yeah, and do you have lots of friends?
No.
You have no friends.
Well, no, I have less friends. I have less friends than some people. You know, some people grew up in a certain area and they have their old friends from back before.
Yeah.
George Clooney has friends from back before. I don't, because I went to boarding schools. Mum died when I was 6, and we kept moving around. And boarding schools are weird because kids turn up, and then 7 years you see them for 2/3 of the year, then poof, gone. And I found that weird. I have people that I work with, I know very well, that I trust. I have people that I don't work with or I've performed with, and they're good to see, and it's great to see people, and I would love to hang out with them. But then I'm always worried that I'm going to annoy them if I don't phone people up. Alan Rickman. I met Alan Rickman. He gave me a chance to my first dramatic role. I really liked the guy. He turned up one day when I was playing a show on Broadway, and we had a meal afterwards with the cast. We used to do that every night, and he was there. And I thought, Alan Rickman's here, this is fun. And then at the end, I said, shall we split this, Alan? Or how's Harry Potter going for you? And he said, well, the next one is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and I am the Half-Blood Prince. And he said this to me in this kind of weird, funny, dramatic way, and I said, well, why don't you get it there? You'll get the whole meal. So he paid for 20 people, and that seemed fun. I just thought I should have spent more time hanging out with him, but I won't phone people up and say, let's
Is that because I would have an element of that as well, of worrying that you're going to be a pain in the hole to other people. But is that because there were certain friendships in your life where you said, OK, I'm friends with this person, and then they did something and you realise, hang on, this friendship isn't as important to them as it was to me. I'm not going to do this friendship thing.
Do you mean a lover relationship?
No, a friendship, just pals, you know.
No, I always felt I had to go and I wanted to go and do some weird things, but I didn't. I'm a bit of a lone wolf, which is, in a way, kind of handy. In a way, it should be lonely. Like they talk about stand-up being lonely. I don't find it lonely. I don't know. Do you find it? How do you find it lonely?
I would say I'm quite a solitary creature. You know, I love. I have friends, but I have that. I've just when you said that thing about not wanting to phone them in case you were.
They go, oh, it's that guy. Let's go out and have a meal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm busy forever.
We should phone each other and not answer.
Yeah, no. Well, it's good to know that you're like that because I'm trying to do stuff that's very positive. I think this is our last century on Earth, which I'm saying because I'm standing to be a member of Parliament after 2020. And I'm saying this publicly. I think this is our last century for humanity on Earth.
Well, it's definitely mine.
All right, very good. No, but I seriously think so. I seriously think 21st century, this is it. It's either our last century or it's our first century where we make it a world where 7.5 billion people, everyone has a fair chance in life. Just a fair chance in life, you know?
You seem to me someone who's very excited about the future.
I am excited about the possibility of the future. I think the next 80 years is key. I do think we have the ability to wipe ourselves off the planet. If this Trump hate Brexit continues, this pull apart, separate, we go back to tribalism. We've tried tribalism. We've tried 1930s politics. It doesn't work, kids. Live and let live. Be proud of your country, but reach across to other countries. Can we learn from you? Can you learn from us? That's the way to go forward. Respect. Brave and curious. Let's be brave and curious. And I'm sitting here like, I decided to wear a skirt today. I decided to be with my boobs today. I thought Ireland is ready for this. And there's transgender people out there, and it's just cool. And I could have just come in very boy mode, and I just thought, no, I'll come on, and it won't be anything. And people sitting at home, anyone watching will just go, you know. And that's the thing. I found this, that I like doing positive things which are difficult, and if you break through, you just seem to. Life seems worth living.
Well, I think you're a wonder, genuinely
a
wonder, and thank you very much for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Izzard.